says that if he were president, he would cut off funding to every sanctuary city in America. Joining me now, former Arkansas governor and 2016 Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. Governor Huckabee, good to see you. What about that? There's no DOJ investigation. There's no swarm of FBI agents. There's not even a comment. There's nothing. All we've heard from the White House this week is we refer you to Homeland Security because we don't comment on specific cases.
Running from responsibility, and it's just tragic. When you show the pictures of that beautiful young woman, what hits me, Megan, she's the same age as my daughter. That could have been my daughter. It could be the daughter of a lot of people in this country, and they need to realize that she's dead because we have not just done the simple, most fundamental thing that a country is supposed to do, and that's control its borders. This isn't about being anti-immigrant. This is about being for every person. Every human being has a right to live without being murdered in cold blood in her father's arms. And when I hear Richard talking and saying that this is because the Congress didn't pass comprehensive immigration reform, it just makes me livid. That once again, the Democrats are playing talking points.
But let me explain his point, because that is another thing the White House has said this week. What they're saying is that if there were comprehensive immigration reform, then these 12 million illegal immigrants would not have to, quote, live in the shadows, that they would not have to worry about being deported if they reported a crime, because it would be okay to come out of the darkness and say, I saw this, I'm an illegal immigrant, but I don't have to worry because I'm on my pathway to whatever it is. And so their point is you wouldn't need cities to provide sanctuary, because basically the whole country would be sanctuary for those we were deeming on the path toward legalization.
Well, there's a better solution. We're talking chicken and egg here. Here's the real question. Why don't we have a secure border? That's the single most important part of comprehensive immigration reform. If your sink breaks and water's spewing all over the floor, you don't say, let's go to Home Depot and get a new sink. First thing you do is you stop the water from flowing. And I've pledged that we'll get a border secure within a year. And if it sounds audacious to say that, I point people to the fact that 73 years ago, we built a road between British Columbia and Alaska, 1,700 miles of a road in Arctic conditions, and did it in less than a year. This nonsense that we can't secure the border
but what about the
is just an
cities?
excuse.
Is the president
we should
powerless?
Cut the funding off.
Is he powerless to stop a city like San Francisco from doing what it's doing?
The president should, first of all, stop all discretionary funding to those cities, especially as it relates to law enforcement. He can do that. A president can reverse the executive order that created executive amnesty, which is illegal on the part of the president, something he himself said 23 times he couldn't do, then he turned around and did it. And we also should name Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and treat them as terrorist organizations. We've got to separate the good people who come here for opportunity versus the people who keep coming back through a porous border, and we can't fix it.
They say the sanctuary city policies aren't meant to protect convicted felons, and then they express shock that somehow their system that just allows sanctuary didn't work. Governor, thank you for being here with your thoughts.
Thank you, Megan.